Hello there. This is an astrological forecast for Aquarius for October of 2012. This also applies if you have an Aquarius ascendant. The big news this month, Aquarius, is that Saturn changes sign and moves out of your 9th house and into your 10th house on October the 5th. This is going to be a time for those of you that have worked very hard and have planned well. This is a time of harvest. This is a time truly when things really work out very well for you in your career. For those of you who feel as though you haven't planned so well or maybe don't know where you're going, this is a time when you'll have an opportunity to create new beginnings for your career, to create a new direction in your career. You may need to go back to school and study and learn a totally new career. You may find it's a time when you take on a lot more responsibility in your career. And if ever you are to be a leader, this is the time when Saturn comes into your 10th house, because you're able to take on responsibility, you're able to structure things, you're able to give orders, and people respect you. As I say, especially if you've been planning for this, this is the time of great success. It's also very important during this transit that you don't focus too much on your professional life and you don't give enough attention to your personal relationships and to your home and to your family and the people around you. There has to be a balance. There's a tendency with Saturn up at the top of the chart to constantly want to achieve, to do more, to feel as though you haven't done enough and there's more to go and you've got to keep trying and striving. And of course, I'm not saying you shouldn't be doing that, but I'm saying that there just has to be that balance. Now, we've got Mars in your 10th house for the beginning of the month. So this is a wonderful time to be putting energy into your career, to being very assertive. You're going to get a lot done. You're going to be able to direct people, tell them what to do, give them good directions. And it's also a possible time when you might have issues with people in authority. So my suggestion would be to work alone as much as you can rather than in teams for the first week of that month. Then for the last 3 weeks of the month, we've got Mars going into your 11th house. This now becomes a good time to work with teams, to work with groups of people. It's also a good time to put energy into your dreams, your goals, your wishes. What is it you want? And time to take action, not just to sit there and think about them. You are an air sign, so you do think about things a lot and you don't necessarily take action. With Mars in that 11th house, time to take action with those dreams, with those wishes. So if you really want to get into a relationship, if that's really what you want, well, maybe you need to have a plan of action as to how you're going to do that. If you really want to have a successful business, well, what's your plan? What's your plan of action? What are you going to do in order to get there? What are the steps you're going to take? And with Mars in that 11th house, you're going to get a lot of energy and propulsion. It's like having a turbocharge forward with those dreams and wishes. We've got Venus for much of the month in your 8th house. So this is a time when love relationships could get very intense, a real intensity to them, maybe even an obsessive quality. And you may find yourself just drawn to somebody unexpectedly, but it's almost like an obsession. You're almost like mesmerized by this person with this Venus in your 8th house for much of the month. Also with Venus ruling money, this could be a nice surprise from a partner wanting to give you some money. Could also be a bank financing you. Could be a sponsorship deal. Could be an investor. But somewhere or another, there's a possibility of you attracting money from other people or an institution during certainly the first 3.5 weeks of the month. Towards the end of the month, Venus goes into your 9th house, which is a wonderful time for planning a long trip. It's a lovely time for meeting a foreigner, falling in love with somebody who's a foreigner, going to a place you've never been to before. Also a good time for studying, for higher learning, and for anything connected with astrology and metaphysics and the mystical arts. And we've got Jupiter, of course, still in your 5th house, which is a wonderful time for romance, for creativity. It's really important for those of you that have lots of creative skills or creative ideas, really develop them, because with Jupiter, the planet of good fortune, it's helping you along there. It's going to bring opportunities for you to be creative. It's also going to bring opportunities with young people and with children. And I think that's a very favourable aspect because it also brings you some good fortune for those of you that want to get married and want to get into that romantic, long-term, committed relationship. We've got a full moon at the very end of the month, on the 29th of the month, in Taurus in your 4th house. So this should shine a light on your home, on your living area. You may have to look at that. You may want to move home. There may be a change of residence coming up for you. All these things coming into the mix towards the very end of the month. So there you have it, my dear Aquarians. I wish you a great month, and thank you to those of you who star the videos, who favourite them, who tweet them, who come to me for readings, sign up for my free newsletter. Whatever it is, I'm always delighted to hear from you. Thank you for listening. Bye for now.